We would like you to meet King Nebuchadnezzar. Some say he was the greatest king that Babylon ever produced. He had tons of people working for him, maybe 90% of the kingdom. There were bricks even stamped in his name. He built and restored much of Babylon. Now for the bad news about King Neb. He threw Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego into the fiery furnace. That was a bad decision.
God's people were captured and taken away to the country of Babylon. The king of that country was named Nebuchadnezzar. 3 young Israelites, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, worked for King Nebuchadnezzar. But when the king wanted them to bow down and worship a golden idol he made, they wouldn't do it.
We can't. Let's go.
So the king called for Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
Is it true that you did not worship the golden statue I have set up? I will give you a second chance to bow down and worship, or no God will be able to save you from my power.
Nebuchadnezzar, you certainly have the power to throw us into the furnace. And our God has the power to save us. But even if he doesn't, we will not worship your statue.
The king was furious and told his soldiers to heat the furnace 7 times hotter than usual. Then Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were thrown in. But guess what happened?
He was so proud that he ignored God and thought he was better than him. Now, for the really bad news. His pride causes him to go crazy. His kingdom is taken away. He is driven away from the people and is forced to live with wild animals. He is forced to eat grass. Pride left King Nebuchadnezzar alone, disgraced, destroyed, and humbled. After 7 years of living it like a wild animal, King Neb decides to get rid of his pride and to honor God. Yay! His sanity is restored. He looks human again, and his crown is returned. His kingdom is returned, and it is even a greater kingdom than it ever was before.
Now I, King Neb, praise and exalt and glorify the King of heaven, because everything he does is right, and all his ways are just, and those who walk in pride he is able to humble.
The men in the furnace didn't burn up. God sent someone to protect them in the furnace. The king was surprised when he saw 4 people walking around. So he told Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego to come out of the furnace. And the king made a new law. No one would be allowed to say anything bad about the God of Israel.